This is definitely fruity.
Be who you are for your pride. Don't gay mine because you know you gay and stuff.
Okay, thank you.
You know your gay balloon because it got all the colors because it's gay.
Okay.
And I got Skittles because it got a rainbow on it.
Okay.
Hi, gay.
Happy Pride Month. We are sashaying away with deals.
Happy Pride Month, everybody!
Yes, queen! Yes!
Okay, I know Pride Month ended a few days ago, but here's the thing. This Nuzlocke was played during Pride Month. It's Pride Month themed, so we're all gonna go with it, okay? So it's still Pride Month! Happy Pride Month!
Yes, queen! Yes!
Now that we took the gay out of the way, just like every corporation on July 1st, let's talk about this video, which is part of a series of Nuzlockes I'm doing this year, where I do a hardcore Nuzlocke with every type available of Scarlet and Violet in pairs. And this is the third one, while I'm using only shiny grass and ground Pokemon. Let's just remember the rules that I'm using. They are also in the comments, and I will win this Nuzlocke as soon as I defeat AI Sada. So let's go and start this run already.
All aboard the toxic
Pussy queen!
And I decided to name our character Twink for reasons. Oh, and also you will notice that this is run 2. Because I failed the first run. Because I didn't prepare properly for the dark base and I wiped there. So the actual run is run 2. This also means that it will take a few battles to get our shiny Pokemon back until I get to the same level. Because I'm not gonna shiny hunt them all again just to restart this run. Anyway, Miss Twink gets her starter, which is obviously a Sprigatito, and we name her Pussy because...
Guess what got more trip than anything a bitch put on?
This Pussy. We also get our first 2 encounters, which are Hoppip, we name her Piss Girl.
Go piss, girls. Come on.
And also a Bounce Suite we name Nikki.
What's up, y'all? It's Nicki Minaj.
And then we go to the school, get our intro done, which is not relatable content because everybody receives you well and you're not bullied by anybody. So what are the real queer experiences that we are representing Pokemon? Anyway, after the intro, we are free, and then we go running to Inlet Grotto as fast as you go to your grinder hookup at 3 a.m. with a DL guy. And there we get our next encounter, which is a Diglett called Dig These Nuts. And then on the way to the first gym, we get our next encounter, which is a Smoliv we named Olivia. So as a lesbian on an online relationship, we go and cross the country for something very precious. And this precious thing was an acrobatics TM to prepare us better for the first and the second gyms. Which means that against Katie, Miss Posey sets up with 1 Hunt Claws and then one-shots everyone with acrobatics. Woo! We did it! And now it's time to battle Miss Cloth. And this Pussy don't want no crabs, honey. I'm sorry. Pussy, who's now a Floragato, finishes this battle fairly quickly with a bunch of Terra Leafages. And now we are able to do what a top does when there is emotional responsibility needed. Run fast. And then running we go to the next gym, which is the plant gay of all plant gays. Oh yeah, of course, before that we get our next encounter, which is a Skittle we named Throat Goat. And now it's time to actually fight the plant gay of plant gays. And in an unexpected turn of events, Pussy just one-shots everybody and finishes the battle in like, I don't know, 1.5 minutes? Would you be the twink I've been hearing so much about? Said every parent ever about James Charles after the grooming allegations, honey.
Hi, sisters!
Now, because we are close to the last level cap, I am able to bring some of my Pokemon back. And this means our next 2 encounters, which were a Mudbray we called Horseplay.
That's where you have sex with Nina Bonina Brown.
And a Whooper we evolved into a Glotsire named IBS. And as my chat said, it's very much a queer experience to have IBS. This portion of the stream is sponsored by Bottoms Against IBS, fighting for an easier sex life. Now it's time to fight that Big Bird, and this battle was quite eventful. Dig These Nuts went first, and the plan was for him to deal some damage and be sacrificed. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Are you gonna sacrifice the shiny Ditto? Yes. And I did, and I would do it again. But at least we got a flinch, which didn't do anything because he ended up dying next turn anyway, after missing another Rock Slide. So then I sent in Horseplay, who took 1 hit and was finally able to finish this battle with Rock Slide. For the second battle, I completely forgot that the order you have your Pokemon in your party matters. And because Dig These Nuts was dead, Miss Pusey was first. And I almost had a little bit of a heart attack. And then I decided to switch into Throat Goat and set up Leech Seed while Nacli was using some rock throws. Unfortunately, on the next turn,
She died.
but then Nacli again continues going hard with those rock damages, and then Horseplay comes in and is able to finish the battle with Rock Slide. Pokemon that we lost. Oh! Not on the horse's ass! Not on the horse's ass, honey! And winning this battle means one thing, that we can now walk on water. And you know exactly what that means.
He was with me from the start. He was always in my heart. Though I strayed far, here you are, Jesus, my superstar. I love you, Jesus. And I love you, Jesus. You give me reason, and you give me hope. And Jesus, now let me go.
Now it's time to battle the Dark Base, and honestly this battle was so annoying. I thought that I had prepared better for this time, but no, it was as annoying as last time. So I start with Horseplay and maximize his defense to be able to survive hits, but by the time he was able to finish off Poniard, he received so much damage that honestly it wasn't worth it. So against the big car, I had to sacrifice Horseplay so I could send in Pusey, who I thought was going to deal a lot of damage. Ends up dealing around 20% using 2 low sweeps. The good thing is that she was able to drop the speed 2 stages, but she took so much damage, and also she took a Metal Sound, so their next move was obviously going to be a Snarl, so I decided to send an IBS to tank that hit. Then IBS lowers the speed a little bit more with another Rock Tomb, but then gets hit by a Metal Sound. So again, I switch into Hopiss Girl and tank another Snarl, and I decided to PP stall the Wicked Torque with Synthesis. And after the Synthesis PPs were over, I decided to change to Bullet Seed, which ends up hitting 5 times and take a good amount of damage actually. But then it was time to switch again, and then I send in IBS, who is able to hit a few Rock Tombs, lowering more speed stages and tanking more hits. But at this point, the car was at minimum speed and I needed to bring a Pokemon safely to the battle, so I decided to sax Olivia's to get in Pusey, who finally finishes this longest battle with 2 low kicks. I hate this base. I hate fighting against this base so much. Anyway, it's time to prepare for Nemona and Yono. And these were the encounters we caught on the way. We caught a Teddy Ursa named Crisco. Please don't Google that. We caught a Deerling named
What you said? Queen.
And we got Sandy Cheeks, the Sandy Gas. Of course, it was because of SpongeBob and not that one Twitter VIP. Anyway, so then we are able to defeat Nemona with Pusey using Terra Seed Bombs on everybody very quickly, very fast. So that leaves us against Yono. Go IBS! Make everybody shit their pants. And that little motherfucking bitch bird stole my anti-confusion berry with pluck. Girl, that pissed me off. But anyway, 2 Rock Tombs were enough to take this little shit out. And against Ballyboat, who wasn't able to hit any moves on IBS because of typing and ability, we were able to set up Toxic Spikes to facilitate things, poison next Pokemons, and then we were able to finish him off with a bunch of Bulldozers. And then in comes Luxio, who dies to 2 Bulldozers. Now, Ms. Magus comes in and has Levitate, and I forgot that Levitate means that she doesn't get poisoned. But I Terra into poisoned, get confused, but I am able to hit her and then get the poison anyway, honey. And the poison damage and a few poison jabs after that win us the battle, and this is another Yono battle under my belt without any deaths. And now it's time to prepare for the Fire Base, and this time I'm a professional Nuzlocker who prepares because I walked a long time on that desert battling trainers to be able to get the Earthquake TM. So here's when I discovered that Clodsire is actually extremely slow because even Torkoal was faster than him and he was able to hit him first with a Flame Wheel. But that's okay because we were able to set the ring and then 2 Earthquakes were able to take him out. So against the Starmobile, it was a back and forth of Earthquakes and Blazing Torques until both IBS and the Starmobile were low in HP, so it was time to switch. So I was like, you know what, let me bring Sandy Cheeks to do some special damage, but he uses Overheat and takes Geeta out, so that's another death for us. So then I send in Teddiursa, who finishes the battle with a slash. And this was the time that I noticed how Teddiursa is a very strong Pokemon. And that's another Starbase out. So now we get our encounter on the way to the next milestone, which is the Steel Titan. And that encounter was a Sunkern that was named Starlight for me because it was a gift from one of my amazing viewers. So thank you so much. And now it's time for the Titan battle. But before that...
Is it the thanks that I get for putting you bitches on? Is it my fault that all of you bitches gone? Should've sent a thank you note, you little hoe.
Nikki kicks the shit out of Earthworm in both battles, and now we can jump higher. How high, you ask me? High enough to make your throat really dry. How dry, you ask me?
Very dry. It's almost kind of like your vagina.
So now we get our next two encounters, which is a Toadscool we named Toes, and a Brambling we named
Thorny on me.
Oh yeah, and Crisco also evolved into an Ursaring. And yeah, we did defeat the Water Gym very easily and quickly, but more important than that, now we have Pokemon Home. And Pokemon Home have blessed us with the ability to transferring Pokemon from this game to Pokemon Legends Arceus, which means that our beautiful Crisco evolved into an amazing Ursaluna. Look at this beautiful creature. So the next stop is the Poison Base, and this time I was a woman with a plan. Hopist Girl, who's now a Jumpluff, knows Tailwind, Swords Dance, and Baton Pass. Now, to avoid super effective damage, I decide to Terra Hopist Girl into a flying type, and then it's Swords Dance, Tailwind, and Battle Pass to bring Ursaluna ready to sweep everybody. Which kinda works because he gets toxic poisoned as soon as he gets in. But he's able to take Skuntank out, Revavroom, and Muk. So then when the Starmobile comes in, I decide to keep Crisco, expecting a one-shot, but unfortunately that doesn't happen. And then I'm worried about the toxic damage, another spin out that might kill Ursaluna. So now I'm questioning myself, this is one of my best Pokemon, should I risk it or not? Oh, okay, great. So then we win against this character, which I can only describe as how American people envision British people speaking. Now it's time to get our next encounter, which is a trophy as we named Mask and Hunt. Because it wouldn't be Pride Month without the dead weight of the queer community. Great. So now it's time to battle the next gym leader, which proves that all of us have daddy issues, which is Larry. But first, can we have some commotion for the wig? After one bulk up, Ursaluna body pressed our way to the win. And without even having time to go to the bathroom, we have to battle Nemona again. And she is definitely the bi representation of this game. Like, let's completely be honest. Anyway, Ursaluna one-shots Lycanroc and Goomy with Earthquake, then Meowscarada is able to take out Palmo and Quaquaval with Flower Trick. I do love an easy battle, and they are about to get a little bit easier because of our next two encounters, which is a Gibble we named Gooner.
Gooning and baiting in the bed.
And a Snover we named Jessica.
She found her ETB card. And on a Taco Tuesday, she never left the car because she loved to celebrate Taco Tuesday. She liked the soft shell with carne asada. That's her favorite with guacamole. And guacamole is expensive, so she's not gonna leave without her car. That was weird for me.
Next on the list is the Ghost Gym. And because of all the buffs you get during the battle, this is a very, very easy battle, just as easy as a chaser in a bear party, so there isn't much to comment here. But I do have to correct myself, because being Mask and Hung sometimes is useful. Like Mask and Hung here, who is able to one-shot this Grey Tusk on the first battle, and two-shot the same Grey Tusk in the second battle. But let's not focus on that. Instead, let's focus on our next encounter, which is a Capsakid we named Capping.
Capping! Which, try as I might, capping. That's a thing. Capping.
So now we have to battle the Tati Westbrook of Pokemon, which is the Psychic Gym. But to get to her, we have to, again, battle Nemona. And this battle is very similar to the last one. Ursaluna one-shots Lycanroc with Earthquake and Sligo with a Play Rough. Then I switch into Puste, who's able to one-shot both Palmot and Quaquaval with Terra Flower Trick. Now the real kicker is what happened before the gym, which is this thing right here.
Don't kill, don't kill, don't kill, don't.
And at this point, I just accepted the fact that I will never end a Nuzlocke with a starter. Not gonna happen. It's not for me. It's not written on the stars for me, honey. So let's just take the L, as, sorry, the straight people say it, and let's go to the gym. One thing about me is that if I find a setup strategy, I will use it. And this battle was no different. So Jumpluff goes in, uses Swords Dance, Tail End, and Baton Pass to bring in Ursaluna, who just one-shots everybody with an Earthquake. Just a quick side note, you probably noticed the snow while Jumpluff was setting up. That was because I accidentally used the Baton Pass instead of starting to set up and then switched into Obama's Note to switch back. It was a little bit of a mess, but everything worked out in the end. And that means that we are free to go to the next gym, which is the Ice Gym. So here's the plan. Clavell goes first and one-shots this little moth with Overheat and leaves right after because he's holding Eject back. As long as he's able to outspeed this little... Oh my god, oh no. Girl, that was close. Anyway, the plan works, and then I can bring in Crisco, Terra Normal, use one Bulk Up, and Earthquake our way to another win. Great, so now we go to the next encounters, which are Fermentis, we named Wheatgay, and Nahisu and Voltorb, we named Big Black Ball, and not Big Brother Brazil for the Brazilians watching. Now, I do have to say that I made a little bit of a mistake when I was choosing the Pokemon, because one of the encounters that I randomized was a Larvitar. But Larvitar loses the ground typing once it becomes Tyranitar, and I absolutely forgot about that. So I decided to change it up and take that encounter out of the beginning of the game and give myself a Hisuian Voltorb at the end of the game. See, I'm being fair because his stats are shit. And now it's time for Twink on Twink Crime, which means going to the Fairy Star base. And to be honest, I used the same Jumpluff strategy. It just took a little longer because this fucking Zumuro wouldn't fall asleep. And it took me a while to be able to get +2 with Swords Dance because of all the charms and all of that. But once I got it, I did Baton Pass and I sent in IBS, who was able to just kill everybody until we got to the car. And I say until we got to the car because this motherfucking car confused IBS, who hid himself in confusion to Ice, so it was time to switch. And then I decide to send in Capping, who's able to resist all of his attacks, and it's able to do a lot of damage with flamethrowers. But guess what? This bitch confuses Capping again, who deals more damage to himself than I would have loved, so it's time to switch again! And I am about to commit a hate crime. So I send in Crisco, who gets confused next turn! But it's able to finish the battle with an Earthquake. With that out of the way, we are now ready to get our next encounter, which is a Shellos we named Douchewater. And then it's on to battle the last Titan, which is the Pokemon equivalent of this image. So Nikki goes in, holding Wide Lens that increase the accuracy of moves, and one-shots Dodonzo with a Terra Power Whip on the first battle. Now on the second battle, a Terra Power Whip and a Drop Kick are able to take Dodonzo out. So against Tatsugiri, a Terra Power Whip takes a third of the HP. And while Greedent helped dealing some good damage, this fucking rodent dies. So then another Power Whip and a Drop Kick were finally able to take this little Sushi out. And I guess this little Sushi really can take a pounding, huh? Okay, honey.
Oh, honey, that sounds like my Friday night, honey. Oh, honey.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop. And now we can climb some walls, which allows us to have much easier access to a lot of stuff, like our next encounters. A Numo named Gloria Hall. Get it? And an Eevee named Dix, as an homage to the sound alert that is most used in mine and my friend's streams by some beautiful viewers who like to throw their dicks at our faces every time. Dicks! It is now time for the last starbase, the Fighting Starbase. And let's do this fight already, which goes with a very creative strategy with Hopis Girl Terra Flying to avoid extra damage from poison jabs, and after 2 Swords Dances and recovering from poison because these games have this amazing mechanic of Pokemon loving you, I Baton Pass to Gunnar, who is now a never so overpowered Garchomp who takes everyone out with Earthquakes. I love that. And because we don't have any more encounters now, it's time to go battle after battle after battle after battle, just like a power bottom go through tops in an open door policy hotel room. Don't Google that. Don't Google that.
Up first.
It's the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet equivalent of Marsha in Dragonheart season. Clavell. And when I tell you that I was prepared, I had a plan B and a plan C in case my main plan didn't work. But fortunately, plan A did. which entailed Garchomp coming in, holding a Chesto Berry to wake up after a yawn and setting up Swords Dance. And then I got really lucky because I was depending on a few Stone Edges to kill some of his Pokemon, but ended up working with everybody and I won this battle really quickly. So the only thing I have to say is,
Okay, you're only halfway done. Okay, more makeup.
so now we're ready for the Elite Four, and this is how the battles went. First up was Rika, and it was quite easy because Jessica one-shots Whiscash with Energy Ball, and then I sent in Crisco predicting a Fire Blast with Camerupt, but he misses. So Crisco take him out with Headlong Rush, not losing his stats because I gave him White Herb. So then we used Domfen to set up a Bo-Cup, and it was a nice punch sweep until the end of this battle. Next is Puppy, and for this battle I decided to use a little bit of an annoying strategy. So I sent in Clodsire first to set Stealth Rock, so I can deal with Magnezone Sturdy and avoid Light Screen, because I needed Capping to sweep everybody holding Charcoal, who in summary ends up sweeping everybody with Flamethrower. Next battle is against Larry, who genuinely looks like that low energy executive at your company that like is the best person in the world, but they just look like they hate everybody. And you know they are the true ally. Anyway, so for this battle I used the Jump Bluff setup strategy. Jump Bluff tears into Flying, predicting an Air Slash, and then I use 2 Swords Dances, Tailwind, and Battle Pass to bring Gunnar in. Tailwind, although Gunnar is a very quick Pokemon, is to avoid Tropius from going first because of Chlorophyll under the sun, and just one-shot Gunnar with a Solar Beam, which worked. So then Gunnar is able to just one-shot Tropius with a Fire Fang. For this battle, I gave Gunnar Wide Lens to increase accuracy because he was going to depend on Stone Edge. And because it's Pride Month, we got a lot of luck and were able to hit every Stone Edge we needed, so we just one-shot everybody to the win. You know what time it is? It's wig time. Next battle is against Hassel. Because I decided to use, again, an outrage strategy for this battle, I gave Gunnar the Lumberry because I forgot the berry that only cures confusion. So I took the risk and then went into the battle. Gunnar Terra into Ground, predicting a Dragon move from Noivern, which ends up happening. So then Gunnar is able to take Noivern and Dragougi out with Outrage, but Poison Point gets activated, so the Lumberry is used. Fuck! And because we basically used all of our luck by this point, he gets confused because of Outrage. And because Gunnar is one of my best Pokemon, I cannot risk losing them. So I then switch into Gloria Hall against Flapple, and then she gets hit with a Leech Siege as soon as she enters. And then next turn, because Flapple is faster, hits with a Dragon Rush that flinches Gloria Hall. And next turn, because she's lower, she dies. Oh no! Oh no! That also means that we can bring in Gunnar safely, and Gunnar one-shots both Flapple and Haxorus with Outrage, but we didn't get lucky enough, and he got confused once again. And to make a long fucking story short, no, I didn't put a whole bag of jelly beans up my ass. Douchewater was the Pokemon that I sent in after Gunnar, and she died, honey. Oh no! Douchewater! No! An amazing sacrifice, so I could bring in Gunnar back and finish the battle with another Outrage. With the Elite Four being done, it's time to battle the final trainer of this building, which is the Drag Mother of the House of Paldea. I decide to send in Crisco first, and one-shots Espathra and Veluza with Payback because Crisco is slow as fuck. And then Avalu comes in, so it's time to bring Capping. And I was expecting a body press, which luckily happened, so Capping is able to just melt this iceberg the next turn. So then Capping is able to take King Gambit and Gogoat out with Flamethrowers. So then Geeta goes back to her wig closet, get her a blue wig, and then send her blue wig, which is actually a Pokemon named Glimora. And I completely forgot to factor in speed, and Glimora is quite a speedy Pokemon, so she goes first and one-shots Capping. So to finish this battle, I send in IBS, who barely survives, but is able to finish with 2 Earthquakes. And once again, the top champion becomes a bottom champion, honey. Okay, I said that I was gonna stop. I will try to stop, I promise. But more important than my terrible jokes is that we have 4 battles to finish this Nuzlocke. I lost a lot of Pokemon. I don't have any more encounters. Am I gonna win this? Are the Pokemon that I have enough? Why do I feel a constant feeling of dread and loneliness even though I have friends and have been in therapy for more than 10 years? I don't know, but here is a word from our sponsors. Hi, everybody. Hi, my name is Emma. I am from HR. This is our beautiful office. Hi. Let me show you around. We had some stickers because it's Pride Month and we wanted everybody to celebrate. So we have here this one that a gay guy told me that we should have because it's like the flag or something. This is what people told me it's called non-binario. Basically someone told me it's basically like people who cannot decide a gender. That's what I heard. These are for the people that are asexuals, and people told me it's the people who don't like have sex. I don't know how people deal with that. I don't know how people live that. Okay, honey. These are the lesbians. Ooh. This and I was told that we have to have the trans flag. The trans flag needs to be here. The trans flag, it needs to be there. It needs to be there. Trans flag. So here it is. I don't know why y'all like trans so much. It's here. So anyway, happy Pride. The first final battle I decided to do was against Arven, and for that battle I decided to do a very unexpected strategy. I used Hopist Girl with 2 sword stances, Baton Pass to Serena, and it was just a clean sweep with seed bombs and acrobatics. Now the problem lies on the battle with Penny, which was so annoying. I decided to start with Jessica, holding wide lens to increase the accuracy of Focus Blast to finish this Umbreon faster. But we get flinched by Dark Pulse on the first turn, and then we are able to take just half of the HP on the second turn. And then we get flinched one more time.
Trauma.
Jessica missed the Focus Blast, so it was time to switch. So then I sent in IBS to set Stealth Rock and deal with this Umbreon, but after so many baby doll eyes, the Earthquakes were not doing enough damage, so then I send in Miss Toes, who's really fast, to finish Umbreon, and then finish Vaporeon with a few Giga Drains, but Vaporeon left Miss Toes with very low HP. So then against Flareon, I decide to switch IBS back in, and then Flareon uses one Flare Blitz that deals a lot of damage, but the recoil damage and an Earthquake are able to take Flareon out. And then in comes Leafeon, so I decide to Terra IBS into Poison, and then a few Poison Jabs are able to take Leafeon out. But the problem is that IBS took a lot of damage. So when Jolteon comes in, I was ready to take him out with Earthquake, but I forgot about Thunder, and one Thunder was enough to take IBS out. So then I decided to send in Dix, and I decided to be petty. So I set up Leech Seed, and because this Jolteon kept using Baby Doll Eyes, I kept using Swords Dance until I was able to max him out. And when I finally went to do some damage, Jolteon used Thunder, which dealt a lot of damage, and paralyzed Leafeon. But we took him out with Leaf Blade. But the paralysis didn't help because against Sylveon, her ace, Sylveon outsped Leafeon, and a crit Moonblast just took Dix out. So Nikki comes in and is able to finish the battle with 2 acrobatics. And this is why I hate those fights with Penny, because they're boring. With one more door shut to this spiritual realm, it's time to do the last battle before Area 0, which is Nemona, and this can be a pretty scary battle. So I start with Nikki, who one-shots Lycanroc with Seed Bomb. And then Gudra comes out, and I decide to send in Starlight to sacrifice it. I'm gonna be honest. Sunflora is not a great Pokemon, and I had other Pokemon that could set stuff. So I just needed a safe switch in, and then I send in Gunnar, who one-shots Gudra with Dragon Claw because he was using Muscle Band. And then I Terra him into ground to one-shot Palmot with Earthquake, and then I two-shotted the Dunsparce with Earthquake as well. So then it's Earthworm, and I switch into Toes, who gets hit by a strong Iron Tail, but he puts him to sleep next turn, and then 2 hexes are enough to finish him off. Now, because I forgot about Toes' ability that make him always go last for using a status move, guaranteeing the status moves will be effective, Quaquaval goes first and kills Toes with 1 Ice Spinner. So then I send in Nikki, who was able to finally finish this battle with 2 Seed Bombs, and that means that there's one more battle to go, a bunch of cutscenes, and a lot of anxiety in my little heart. So let's just jump in straight into Area 0. And it's time to battle AI Sada to finish this Nuzlocke. So here's a bit of a play-by-play. Nikki went first and was able to one-shot Slitherwing with acrobatics. Then Screamtail comes in, and I decide to keep Nikki as Screamtail's damaging stats are not so good. So I deal a third of HP with acrobatics. Then it was a bit of a back and forth while being frozen and dealing more damage, so I decided to sack Nikki anyway to bring Brambleghast, Thorny on main, safely. So I decide to Terra Brambleghast into Ghost to use Phantom Force. That takes this Screamtail out, and then next up, Sada decided to send in Flutter Mane, and I was like, okay honey, lucky me, and then one-shot him with Phantom Force. Next was Brute Bonnet, and because I didn't need to use Thorny on main for anything else, I decided to keep him in and try to do some chip damage until he got taken down, so I could safely bring in Jessica, who finishes Brute Bonnet with a Blizzard. Then in comes Sandy Shocks, and Jessica tanks a Flash Cannon and is able to deal some good damage with Earth Power, but then dies next turn, so I can send in Gunnar safely, who takes him out with an Earthquake. So now it's time for her ace Pokemon, Roaring Moon. I had a plan B, I had Ursaluna in the back, so I was ready to go and one-shot him with Play Rough, but I decided to test it out with Gunnar, and Gunnar survived a hit and one-shotted him. So that means we won. And because the queers keep winning, honey, we won another Nuzlocke. That is the third Nuzlocke under our belt from this series. 2 wins, 1 lose. Now, I did learn a few things better this time, and I guess a lot of that is related to a better usage of TMs earlier in the game. And also, one thing that I didn't mention at all in the run, but I'm gonna mention now, is I used a lot of EVs. So to get some advantage in terms of speed or attack to guarantee a one-hit KO, I gave some of my Pokemon a lot of like EVs. So that's something that really, really helped me. And I guess I'm gonna take this knowledge to my next Nuzlocke. So go to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/fluttershiny_, because I'm gonna do my next run there, and it's gonna be a fun run. And yeah, so thank you, Gay, for watching this Prime Month video. I hope you are very slay on the Boots the Hounds Down Girl, Work Diva Charlie XCX, Snatch My Wig. And don't forget to subscribe. We're gagging for you fat.